Hi, this is Dave from Chaparral, and I'm here with this week's Tech Tip of the Week. This week we're going to talk about oils. One of the biggest questions that I get at the parts counter is, why do I need specific motorcycle oil for my bike? Can't I just put my car oil in it that I use at home in my truck or my wife's car? And the answer to that is really no, you do not want to. Motorcycle oil is very specific to motorcycles. It has a different complete rating than car oil does. Motorcycle oil with an MA rating is mainly used because we have the wet clutches in our four-stroke motorcycles, whether it be a sport bike, your quad ATV, your dirt bike. Motorcycle oils, even the full synthetics, do not have any of the friction additive packages in them, so that way they're safe for our clutches to give us long-standing clutch life on the bikes. You can put a car oil in a bike and ride it very normally, and you might get 10,000–12,000 miles out of it if you're lucky for the clutch. It'll lubricate your engine just fine. But if you put the motorcycle oil in and you constantly use that because of the non-friction additives in it, you can get as much as 30,000–40,000 miles on them depending on what kind of a rider and how easy or hard you are in your clutch. Other questions that we have about the oils here at Chaparral is the difference between a full synthetic, a semi-synthetic, and a regular petroleum-based oil. There seems to be this old wives' tale going around that once you put a synthetic in a vehicle that you can't go back. And I'm sorry, that's not the case at all. Full synthetic oils, when they first were developed and came out in the late 70s, that was a big scare that people had, and so the federal government stepped in and mandated to make sure that all the oils could be mixed, because when synthetics first came out, they weren't available everywhere. And if you were out somewhere and had synthetic in your vehicle and that place you needed oil didn't have it, what were you going to do? And so they were all mixable, and the same thing goes nowadays. If you're out somewhere and you have a particular brand or type of oil in your motorcycle or ATV, and they don't carry your brand, you're absolutely okay to mix it. It's no problem at all. Matter of fact, a semi-synthetic oil, which we have right here from Golden Spectro, this particular oil is a 50-50 mixture. If you ever see any oil that actually says it is a semi-synthetic oil, it's actually just half regular oil and half full synthetic, so that makes it a semi-synthetic, and they are completely mixable. So a full synthetic to a semi-synthetic is always the way to go. And again, if you put a full synthetic in your bike, there is no worry about the clutch slipping. That's not going to happen because of the high phosphorus count that they put in special motorcycle oils, and the fact that there are not the additive friction packages like there is in the car oil. We don't have to worry about that problem. One of the other questions that I get asked a lot here at Chaparral is about the viscosities. How can an oil be a 5 weight and a 40 weight at the same time, or a 20 and a 50? The way they do that is with polymers that they insert into the oils. A polymer, imagine a piece of wire, maybe an inch or two long. When it's hot, it's actually relaxed and stretched out, and when it's cold, it actually curls up like a piece of spring. When it's curled up like a piece of spring, it actually flows quicker because it's smaller through the orifices and through the system of the vehicle that it's in. As the heat increases, the thing relaxes and it gets longer, so it flows thicker, so that's what increases the viscosity of the oil. Here in Southern California, we get up to the 100, 110s during the summertime, so you definitely want to run a much thicker oil like a 20W50 in the summertime, so that the oil actually maintains itself on the cylinder walls. If it gets too thin, it'll actually run off the cylinder walls, and that's not going to do you any good as far as your lubrication goes. As far as the actual high RPMs that these vehicles turn that we have nowadays, which go 10–12,000 RPMs with no problem. So you definitely want to run a good lubricating oil, preferably a semi-synthetic at least up to a full synthetic. And if you're back east where it's cold, especially now in the wintertime, you want to probably run like a 5W30 or a 10W40 at the most. If you're getting down in the freezing zone, definitely the 5W30. The oils that we have nowadays are going to be better than anything you can imagine. They're better than your specifications that your bike asks for. Even the least expensive oil that we have here, no matter what brand it is, well exceeds the manufacturer's recommendations for what you have on any vehicle. So anything we have, we can help you out with your vehicle on the oils that you need.